Do you ever think about whether it's still a good idea to travel after you turn 70? Immersion in a new culture and travel are both fun things to do, but many seniors wait until it's too late to think about the risks. The changes that happen in our bodies and minds as we age can make traveling harder, less predictable, and even dangerous. Certain people can't keep up the same level of activity they did when they were younger. Some things can make traveling after age 70 difficult, which could ruin a perfectly good vacation or even put your life in danger. This video will show you 5 main reasons why traveling after age 70 can be risky, ranging from health problems that come up out of the blue to hidden money problems that can wipe out your savings. Think about each of these things if you want to know what problems older travelers face. At this point in your life, you should be very careful when you travel. This video will show you how to do that. Listen to me all the way through. Our last point is a simple way for seniors to waste time, money, and peace of mind while traveling, but they don't think about it much. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell button before we start. That way, you won't miss a video. Is this video something you like? Leave a comment if that's the case. Type 0 in the comments to let me know if you don't like it. It will help me make better videos for you. Now is a great time to begin. First, there are more health risks and medical emergencies. One of the biggest worries about traveling after age 70 is that you might get sick at any time. As we get older, our bodies are less stable, and health problems like heart disease, high blood pressure, and breathing issues can suddenly become emergencies. When you're at home, it's easy to get medical help quickly. But when you're traveling, especially in a place you don't know, or a foreign country, it can be harder to get the right care. When you're not near your regular doctor, a small health problem that you could have easily taken care of at home can quickly turn into something serious, even life-threatening. A medical emergency is not just an idea for many seniors. It's a very real risk. Deep vein thrombosis, which is another name for blood clots, can happen more often on long flights. High elevations can be hard on the heart and lungs, especially for people who already have health problems. And even something as simple as being thirsty or overheated can be much worse in a place you've never been before. Also, seniors are more likely to get infections. This means that being exposed to new bacteria and viruses in different places can make you sick without warning. Take the case of James, a 74-year-old man who loved to travel. He planned a cruise for 2 weeks with his wife because he thought it would be a fun and easy way to see new places. But on the 4th day of the trip, he started having terrible chest pain. The ship's medical staff gave him basic care, but he needed to get to a hospital right away. He had to wait for an emergency evacuation to the nearest port because they were in the middle of the ocean. This made treatment hours later than planned. He was lucky to be alive, but what happened to him left him shaken. What was supposed to be a dream vacation turned into a terrifying ordeal. He later admitted that he could have avoided it if he had thought about the risk more carefully. Another big issue is health insurance. A lot of seniors think that their regular health insurance will cover them wherever they go, but they find out too late that it doesn't cover medical care in another country. Hospital stays, emergency surgeries, and even basic medications can cost a lot of money if you don't have the right travel insurance. Some older people have to pay tens of thousands of dollars just to get the care they need while they're away. What can you do if you're over 70 and want to travel? Talk to your doctor first, get a full health checkup, talk about any possible risks, and make sure you have all of your medications with you. Always find out about the healthcare system in the place you're going. And if you're going abroad, make sure you have full travel insurance that covers hospital stays and emergency evacuations. Because when it comes to health, being ready can mean the difference between a great trip and a terrible one. One of the most important things to do to enjoy life after 70 is to stay healthy. But medical risks aren't the only thing that can make travel dangerous. Second, more infections and other harmful substances are coming in. One of the most underrated risks of traveling after age 70 is that you are more likely to get germs, viruses, and foodborne illnesses. Airports, planes, public transportation, and restaurants where people don't know the food are all places where bacteria and viruses can grow. A minor cold or stomach bug might not be a big deal for younger travelers, but for older people, these infections can cause serious problems, hospital stays, or even long-term health problems. More illnesses can happen to an older person in one trip than they would normally get in months at home, and sometimes their immune system isn't strong enough to fight them off. Our immune systems naturally weaken with age, which makes it harder to get better from infections. It is especially dangerous for older people to get respiratory illnesses. Studies have shown that older people are more likely to get sick from the flu, pneumonia, and even common colds. This is especially true when they are exposed to new strains of these illnesses in other parts of the world. In particular, airplanes are great places for germs to grow. People are often squished together and breathe in recycled air for hours at a time. Also, because people from all over the world go through airports every day, it's easy to come into contact with viruses that your body has never seen before. Then there's the matter of safe water and food. Many travelers are excited to try new foods in other countries, but seniors may have trouble digesting foods made with new spices, ingredients, or cooking methods. Diseases that come from food like norovirus, E. coli, and salmonella can be much worse for older people, making them sick for longer, dehydrated, and with a much weaker immune system. While people who live in the area may be immune to some bacteria in the water, tourists often don't have the same protection. If you drink tap water or eat salad that was washed in water from the area, you could get a serious stomach infection. There are also germs in public bathrooms, hotel rooms, and rental cars. A lot of people think that if something looks clean, it must be safe. But things like doorknobs, seat belts, and tray tables aren't always cleaned as well as they should be. People over 65 who use mobility aids like walkers or canes are even more at risk because they often use public services to keep their balance. So what can seniors do to stay safe if they have to travel? Extra safety measures must be taken. You can lower your chances of getting sick by wearing a mask in crowded places, washing your hands often, and carrying hand sanitizer. To avoid getting sick from food, only drink bottled or filtered water, stay away from raw foods in public places, and stick to well-cooked meals. And people who are going to be traveling internationally must get the recommended vaccines and bring the medicines they need in case they get stomach problems or respiratory infections. It is possible to stay healthy while traveling, but you need to be careful, plan ahead, and have a strong immune system. Not only are health risks a worry, though, this is one more reason why traveling after age 70 might be more of a burden than a pleasure. It can affect not only your health, but also your money and your peace of mind. Third, travel fatigue and problems with getting better. Traveling may look fun, but for people over 70, it can be much harder on their bodies than they thought. Long flights, early check-ins, schedule changes, and hours of walking can make you very tired, and it can be hard to get back to normal. Older adults frequently experience fatigue for days or even weeks after a trip, unlike in younger years when a good night's sleep could refresh the body, and everything else is worse when the body's tired. The immune system gets weaker, coordination gets worse, and the chance of getting sick or hurt goes through the roof. One of the worst things for seniors when they travel is having trouble sleeping. You might not be able to get enough rest if you are sleeping in a bed you're not used to, staying in a noisy hotel, or getting used to a new time zone. Not getting enough sleep does more than just make you feel tired. It also makes you less smart, weakens your immune system, and raises your risk of heart disease. Studies have shown that older people who travel through several time zones often take longer to get used to the new schedule. This means that jet lag can last a lot longer than expected. This constant tiredness can ruin a trip that would have been fun otherwise, leaving travelers drained instead of refreshed. Then there's the matter of stress on the body. Being on a plane, bus, or train for a long time can make your muscles and joints stiff and raise your risk of blood clots. Long trips can be painful for older people with arthritis or circulation problems, and the pain can last for a long time after the trip is over. Even once you get to your destination, seeing the sights, carrying your bags, and keeping up with planned activities can quickly become too much for your body to handle. An exciting vacation can quickly turn into one where it's hard to keep up. Take the case of Richard, a 75-year-old man who loved to travel all his life. He and his wife planned a 2-week trip abroad after they retired because they thought it would be just as fun as the trips they had taken in the past. But Richard was tired before the trip even started because of the 10-hour flight, the crowded airport, and getting used to a 6-hour time difference. From the second day on, it was hard for him to walk long distances, stay awake during tours, and he needed to take breaks often. Before he knew it, it was almost time to go back home, and he spent the next few weeks getting better instead of enjoying the memories. Another problem for seniors is staying hydrated and eating the way they normally do. A lot of places have strange foods that can make your stomach hurt, and people often forget to drink water while they're on the go. Even simple tasks can feel like a challenge when dehydrated, which can also cause fatigue, dizziness, and confusion. With less sleep and physical stress, it's easy to see why many seniors feel worse after a trip instead of better. So what's the answer? If seniors have to travel, they should plan a lot of rest days, drink plenty of water, and avoid scheduling too many activities right after each other. Taking shorter flights with time to move around during layovers, bringing healthy snacks, and planning time for naps can also help you feel less tired. Most importantly, though, it's important to know your own limits and make changes to your travel plans accordingly. After all, a vacation should be fun, not something that makes you feel bad for weeks. Seniors should be very worried about the physical damage that travel can do, but that's not the only danger that's hard to see. 4, there is a greater chance of falling and getting hurt. The higher chance of falling and getting hurt is one of the biggest risks of traveling after age 70. Our reflexes, balance, and bone density naturally get worse with age, which makes us more likely to get hurt. A small slip-up at home might not seem like a big deal, but a fall while traveling, especially in a place you don't know well, can cause broken bones, long hospital stays, or even problems with your ability to move around permanently. Seniors' lives can change in an instant if they take a fall. What was supposed to be a fun trip can become a painful and expensive ordeal. An awful lot of older people don't understand how different travel can be from their normal lives. Hotels, cruise ships, and historic sites often have floors that aren't level, stairs that aren't well lit, or surfaces that are slippery, which makes it more likely that someone will fall. Some places don't have many or any accessibility features, which means that simple things like getting on a bus or walking on cobblestone streets can become dangerous. And emergency medical services aren't always as quick or advanced as they are at home. This means that even a small injury can take longer to treat, which raises the risk of complications. Linda is a 78-year-old woman who has always wanted to go to Europe. It was easy for her to walk around her neighborhood every day because she was in great shape for her age. But when she got to Italy and started driving on the narrow, steep streets, she quickly learned it wasn't going to be as easy as she thought. One night, she lost her balance as she stepped off a curb in a dark alley. She hit the ground hard and broke her hip. She was taken to a nearby hospital right away, where doctors told her she needed surgery. She had to cut her trip short, and it took her months to get better after she got back home. The trip she thought would be the trip of a lifetime turned out to be something she wished she had never done. One more important factor is tiredness. Traveling often means long days, eating at odd times, and sleeping in strange places, all of which can make it harder to keep your balance and move around smoothly. Reaction times slow down when the body is tired, which makes it more likely to trip or fall. And for older people with arthritis or joint pain, long walks through airports, train stations, or tourist spots can make their joints swell and hurt, which can make them more likely to lose their balance quickly. So what can older people do to lower the risk? If you have to travel, it can help to pick places that are easy to get to, stay away from dangerous areas with rough terrain, and always wear the right shoes. It can also help a lot to use walking sticks, wear shoes that support your feet, and get enough rest. Most importantly, it's important to know your own limits, because no trip is worth giving up your long-term freedom and mobility. 5th, travel insurance and the risk of losing money. Not only is there a risk to your health when you travel after age 70, but there are also risks to your money. Many seniors think that if they have a problem while traveling, they can just use their insurance or savings. But medical emergencies, trip cancellations, and even financial scams can quickly empty a person's bank account while traveling. Unfortunately, one unplanned event can ruin a well-planned trip for many seniors, leaving them with huge costs and stress. Medical care in another country is one of the biggest risks to your money. A lot of older people don't know that their regular health insurance doesn't always cover care in other countries. In other words, if you get sick or hurt while traveling, you might have to pay a lot of money for medical bills. Medical evacuations in an emergency, like being flown to a real hospital, can cost tens of thousands of dollars, even in places where healthcare is cheaper. Older people might have to choose between paying a huge bill out of pocket or not getting the care they need if they don't have the right travel insurance. Still, another problem is trips that have to be canceled. A lot of older people plan their trips months ahead of time because they think they'll be healthy when the time comes. But life is hard to plan. Health problems can happen at any time, forcing you to delay or cancel your trip. Many airlines, hotels, and cruise lines have strict rules that don't let people get refunds for canceling at the last minute. This means that seniors who need to change their plans can lose thousands of dollars. If you don't have the right trip insurance, it might be impossible to get that money back. Aside from cancellations and medical costs, scams and fraud are another big financial risk. Scammers who prey on travelers frequently target seniors. They do this by pretending to be taxi services, charging too much for simple goods, or even using complicated schemes to steal credit card information. Many con artists target older people who don't seem to know where they are because they know they are less likely to notice a scam in real time. Also, thieves sometimes take advantage of seniors by giving them fake vacation deals that are really just expensive traps. Take the example of George, a 76-year-old man who had always been careful with his money. He saved up for every part of his dream vacation to a tropical island. But when he got there, he found that the hotel he had booked didn't exist. When he realized it was an online scam, it was too late. He had already lost his money. As he had nowhere to stay, he quickly found another hotel and paid twice as much as he had planned just to get a place to sleep. He came home from a trip that should have been relaxing but turned into a stressful mess with money. So what can older people do to stay safe? First, make sure that your health insurance covers trips outside of your home country. If it doesn't, get a good travel insurance plan that covers medical emergencies and trip cancellations. Second, only book your trip through companies you know and trust, and stay away from deals that look too good to be true. Third, be extra careful with your money when you're traveling. Don't carry around a lot of cash, keep an eye on who can see your credit card information, and never give personal financial information to someone you don't know. Even though traveling can be fun, these financial risks make it clear that people over 70 need to be extra careful. Traveling is a risk that not all seniors are willing to take because of the hidden costs, the chance of losing money to scams, and the fact that health emergencies can happen at any time. But does that mean you should never go on another trip? Not all the time. Last thoughts. We've just talked about 5 of the main reasons why traveling after age 70 is dangerous. These are risks that many seniors don't think about until they're actually traveling. These risks include unexpected health emergencies, injuries, exhaustion, infections, and financial problems. All of these problems can make a vacation that should be fun and relaxing into something stressful or even dangerous. Traveling might seem like a fun way to spend retirement, but it takes a lot more planning, care, and awareness after a certain age than it did when you were younger. But does that mean older people should never go on trips? Not all the time. For people over 70, it just means they need to change how they travel. Long-haul flights, tours, and dangerous destinations can be very tiring. It might be better to choose closer, safer options that don't put as much stress on the body. It can make a big difference in safety and fun to check out local attractions, take shorter trips, or focus on places where medical care is easy to get to. Travel should make life better, not make problems that last long after the trip is over. If you or someone you care about wants to travel after age 70, stop and think about the problems that could come up. Are you in good enough health to go on the trip? Do you have the right travel insurance to keep your money safe? Have you picked a place to go that is safe and easy for you to get to? It might not seem fun to ask these questions, but being honest in your answers could save you a lot of trouble and stress in the future. Being long-lived isn't just about living longer. It's also about making sure that the years you do have are full of quality, freedom, and peace of mind. If staying healthy and safe means not traveling when you don't have to, it means rethinking the risk before booking that next flight. Thanks for being here today. Please get in touch with us. Tell us what you learned today and how you're going to use it in your life in the comments below. We care about what you think, so don't be shy about telling us. We feel very motivated and encouraged when we read your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you liked it and found it useful. Thanks for your support. It lets us keep making good content for you to learn from and be inspired by. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.